Welcome back, horror lovers. We spent many days going back and forth about publishing this video or not, since its contents can deeply shock many people. So, if you decide to continue, it would be because of your desire and determination to learn what happened to today's protagonist. Let's go. It was summertime, and Alice was resting with her younger sister under the shade of a tree. The two were very bored, but out of a sudden, they saw a white rabbit run in front of them. He had red eyes and was wearing a vest. That was a strange sight, and they never expected the rabbit to take out a pocket watch while worriedly muttering, "Oh no, I'm gonna be late." Alice and her sister looked at each other, and they coincided in that the rabbit actually talked. Surprised and in disbelief, Alice got up and started going after the rabbit, which was pretty fast, but so was Alice, who didn't lose sight of him. Then, after running behind a tree, the rabbit disappeared without a trace. Alice started looking in all directions and got mad thinking that the rabbit managed to escape. However, when she turned back, she discovered that right by her side was a huge burrow. Alice crouched down to inspect the tunnel. It was so dark that she couldn't see anything, and it seemed to be pretty deep. And then, a strong gust of wind suddenly pushed her into the burrow, and she fell inside. She felt she was falling and couldn't see the bottom. She closed her eyes and started to accept that she was not going to survive. However, Alice suddenly felt how she landed on something soft. She woke up a few minutes later stunned and not remembering how she arrived there. Alice found herself in the middle of a dark forest, and it seemed to be nighttime. She got up from the pile of leaves that saved her life, and she started to walk. Soon after, she heard something behind her back. Scared, she turned around and saw that her sister had followed her. Worried, Alice went to hug her sister. She asked her if she was okay and helped her get up. Now that they were together, Alice felt more safe. However, an eerie laugh soon erased that feeling. They saw the strange rabbit from before, observing the sisters while showing his sharp teeth. Without giving them time to react, the rabbit plunged onto Alice's sister and started biting her neck until he managed to separate her head from her body, both falling to the ground. More rabbits suddenly appeared, and they quickly started devouring the little one. The rabid rabbit in a vest then looked directly at Alice with his red eyes and his mouth covered in blood. He then took out his pocket watch once more and said, "Turns out I'm not late. I'm just in time to see you both die." Horrified, Alice tried to run away as the horrible rabbit started chasing her. Unfortunately, she was so terrified that her legs stopped responding and she fell to the ground. She hit her head and lost consciousness. Alice woke up under the very tree where she first saw the rabbit, but her sister was nowhere to be found. Her face hurt, and she had scratches all over her body. She never saw her sister again and was traumatized for the rest of her life. Her parents never believed her when she tried to explain to them what happened, and she was soon interned into a psychiatric center. Over time, Alice's memories became more and more twisted and distorted, to the point that the story of what really happened on that tragic day became completely different in her deteriorating mind. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more horror videos, subscribe to our channel.